people are going to say some words about Kurt DeWitt. And there's no better person than star Josh Hine, which we know who they were. Also, I want to remind you guys.
Not Josh.
Yes, Josh, first.
Not Josh.
We got a great book for Kirk and Stacy. Please make sure you guys look at it and sign the first couple pages. And then also, before you leave, we got one of those collage pictures. You guys need to get one of those. The guy who's here helping us video this today, it's going to be up online so you guys can look at it later. And then, that would be you. Also, these are Heather made, and Heather did all the centerpieces and everything else. Before you guys go as well. Hello, can you hear me? Better, Chris? Okay.
Hey Kurt, I'm Josh, just in case you didn't remember. That's why we have name tags, because I guess once you get nothing but love. 100, yeah, it feels like it. I know we're here to honor Kurt, but the reason why we're all together is God brought us together at some point. It started out as a little Bible study, wound up being 50 plus people invading your pool room. So thank you so much for letting us hang out to your house till 4:30 in the morning. I don't know how you guys ever slept on Tuesday nights. I think it was Tuesday. Was it Tuesday night? It was Tuesday night, yeah. So Wednesday must have been a rough day for you guys, but thank you so much for not only having Kurt, but shaping him into who he is today. Had a couple things, went totally blank. I've got 2 words for you, road trip, and I have 1 question for you. First name is Jonathan, San Luis Obispo, Cal Poly. And I don't remember his last name because we would have invited him. Do you remember that road trip? Yeah.
He had blonde hair.
Yeah, blonde hair. His name's Jonathan. But this is what I love. This is well back before the time of cell phones. We decided one day, one of our brethren had decided to go away to school. And we just said, let's go on a road trip. Went up to Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo. Had some quarters, put it into a payphone. Yeah, one of those, that's all it was. And found Jonathan and just surprised him and had fun. And the spontaneity and joy of just that moment is kind of what you brought to, I think, all of us who call it living through, college crew. You got it? What do you got? What do you got? All right. So people are going to be filling out some wonderful cards. We're going to share the microphone. So if anybody's got something filled out already that they want to share, embarrass, humiliate, or prey upon. No, I just had road trip, that was it. You have a story? I'm sorry, Liz, yeah, you're not allowed. There are standards with the microphone, so...
We'll load them for you.
Yeah, and this is as low as it gets is right here, so... Oh, yeah, yeah. When someone's this excited to grab a mic, yeah, turn it off. Turn it off.
I know, right? It's good to see you too. So weird. 20 years, you know? Oh. Okay, so I'm Liz, and Julie and I were at a church called ABF in Aurora that really didn't have much of a college program. So we came over to Calvary, and I remember, tell me if you remember, I had a girls-only party at my house when my parents weren't home. Yeah, it was the first kind of party that like I'd ever done. Okay, so we're doing all this female bonding, you know, painting toenails, this and that, and all of a sudden, like, we heard like these noises at the front of the house. And so we opened up the door, and there's like 30 in Living Proof young men, who have, I don't know, TP'd everything in my front yard. Of course, my heart is going like this because I never break the rules when it comes to my parents and their house. And I'm like, oh, I have so much to clean up. But I had another friend there from high school days. And Eden was kind of like one of those crazy girls, and I think she put peanut butter all over Josh's feet and then proceeded to lick it off in front of everyone. And we were like, oh my god, this is so... But anyway, it was a great group of kids. My parents did find out that we had the party because somebody's car leaked oil all over everything. But Calvary was a great place to land. You felt safe, connected, bonded, and obviously we've maintained friendships for quite some time. And it was a good group. I was glad to be a part of it in my formative college years. So, thank you, Mr. DeWitt. Pastor DeWitt, I'm so excited for you. And may future college kids come back and reflect when we're 60. We'll come back here and bond again. So anyway, those are the good days. Who's next?
I'm Jason. You probably remember me. My hair was a little longer back then. I remember joining the college group after Lisa and I started getting serious in our relationship. We'd been going to a church down in Torrance. We started dating and decided we needed to get plugged in our home city of Westlake. And I gotta just say how formative those times were, just leading worship, being a part of this group, doing parties every weekend, Bible studies during the week. One of the things I just wanted to raise is look around, look at all these faces. You know, many of us haven't stayed in contact, we know each other, but what I think Kurt has left a legacy of is that I have to believe that all of us are still following the Lord and leaving a legacy for our kids. You can't say that about many churches today. People come and go, and the ebb and flow of life takes over. And we all have beautiful kids here, we have relationships, and yet Christ has remained solid. I can't begin to describe or explain all the things that we've all seen over the last 20 years in our lives. We've been through financial challenges, marital challenges, kid challenges. We've probably seen the loss of some of our parents and grandparents. But God has kept us strong during those times. And it's these relationships that were on the foundation, Living Proof, and what you did, Kurt, and just kind of bring everybody together in your childlike manner, because that's all you knew how to do at the time. But it was also your authenticity. When you took over for Gordy, because we started with Gordy. And in fact, Gordy and a few others that couldn't be here today have some letters for you, which Todd will give you after. But when you took over, that was some big shoes, because you had just come out of your own little adventure, which you shared a little bit in the service today. But somehow he saw something amazing in you after getting through Fuller and knew that you were going to be taking that torch for your father and carrying it through. And you've had enormous patience these last 20 years waiting for God's calling on your life. You've done amazing things with missions and being a constant force at Calvary. But what an awesome honor it is to see you move into the next challenge, the next chapter of life. You are going to do amazing things, yet still. But I do have a story too. You know, Kirk's house and other houses, and we kind of have a regular monthly poker game. And that was when, we just were all starting to drink, although he'd been doing it for 10 years. And Josh would smuggle something in from over the border that was way above the permitted alcohol proof level. We'd play cards, we'd listen to the Cult, and smoke some cigars. And those are great times. So nothing embarrassing, but it's those relationships, and I'm proud to call Kirk my friend for over 20 years. So, cheers.
March, so almost a year ago, was Kirk's birthday, and I wanted to give him a happy birthday message on his Facebook page. And I was thinking, what could I say to Kirk, who has changed my life so much. And nobody who is currently walking on planet Earth has changed my life more than Kirk. Nobody. And I'll tell you a little bit about it because it is my testimony. Kirk obviously told us to have our testimony ready. But when I came to Calvary, it was because my best friend, who I went to Hollywood with every single weekend, got in trouble. And her punishment being grounded was she had to go to the college group at church for a month. It's true. And she knew that I used to go to church, and so she begged me to please go with her so that all these weirdo Christians wouldn't, you know, try to get her or whatever. And so I said, sure, I'll go with you. And so for 4 weeks in a row, I went with my friend, who I won't tell you her name, and we went, and when her punishment was over, after 4 weeks, she kept going to Hollywood, and I kept going to Calvary. And at the beginning, Kirk was, you know, I kind of liked going to youth group, college group, and, you know, and Bible study was good too. And one day Kirk says, you know, you need to start coming to church on Sundays. And I said, well, I can't go to church on Sundays because Saturday night I'm in Hollywood, and it kind of cramps my style a little bit to wake up that early in the morning to go to church. And Kirk said, no, you need to go to church. And I said, well, but no, I don't, no, you need to go to church. And I said, all right, I'll go to church. And so then Kirk said, and you're joining the leadership for the college group. Effective now. And I said, oh no, I'm not equipped for that. And he said, well, the first equipping that we're doing for you is we're going to study the fruits of the Spirit, and we're going to study spiritual gifts. And you're going to find out what your gifts are, and that's what we're going to do. And that's what I did. And I left the whole Hollywood scene behind, and Calvary Community became my church. And I love you, Pastor DeWitt, and Pastor DeWitt, and Mrs. DeWitt, and Mrs. DeWitt. Your family has changed me, and I never went back. From that moment on, I belong to Jesus because I chose it, not just because he had his seal on me. But that's when I decided to tell everyone, hey, I follow Jesus and I love him so much. So thank you, Kirk DeWitt. You are the most influential person in my Christian walk. And thank you for dragging me over from the dark side. Oh, no, we had a party there. But a Halloween party. Yeah. But that was after. That was when I was in leadership. All right, that's it.
Because even though today's about Kirk, it's also about Stacy. Yeah. You get to just stand up here. I look beautiful. No, as much as Kirk has been so influential to all of us and everything that he's done, Stacy has been that much or more to me personally. So, set your watches. I met Stacy here August 15th, 1990. Stating that we were, it was our very, very first meeting for Living Proof, and I saw her from a distance, and I said that I wanted to go talk to this girl because, for whatever reason, I mean, she was stunning and gorgeous, but I needed to find a new friend. I didn't know anybody, but I just went up, and she was so nice, and that was the beginning of just a great friendship that has gone on now for 22 years. So we have been through everything together, and even though we are now 2.5 hours apart, we still manage to you know, keep our relationship going, I guess you could say. So, but she is a godly woman, and that's one thing that has not changed. This woman right here is timeless. She looks the same as she did on August 15th, 1990. I mean, that she looks phenomenal. And but I know that she's grown in her faith, and also just in everything, you know, as a mom and as a wife and as a friend. So I thank you.
Okay, maybe I will say something. It's weird to hear my own voice. Each one of you has been, I know Kirk's going to want to say something too, but just from my heart, each one of you has been so important to me and to Kirk. Each one of you has been a special gift. And it doesn't matter if we've seen you last week or we haven't seen you in 20 years, that you're, the fragrance of your life through Christ has been so important to us. And it's actually helped us in our own faith. And you guys are the hugest blessing to us, each one of us. Each one of you is a huge blessing to us. You have no idea what today means. It's just, I don't even have the words for it. We're just truly humbled and truly blessed to see what the Lord has done through your lives. I mean, it would be, what, a quarter of us, but now we have spouses and kids, and God has just blessed us immensely. And thank you guys so much. I can't believe what you've done to organize all this. It's been beautiful. It's incredible. And it's just a testimony to what the Lord has done. So thank you.
Right on.
So, Jay Baker, you should recognize me. But to honor Kirk and Larry, my section, I actually have it outlined in your pullouts. 5 fill-ins, so get ready with your pens. We'll be using an acrostic and alliteration both. They all start with A, and the word is ah.
Get out of here.
But in all seriousness, I look at this side of the table predominantly. This is what Living Proof was about 20 years ago. I look at that side of the table, there's another 20, 30 more of us over there. Very exciting to see this group grow and live and multiply. And as an example of God doing something in someone's life and letting it trickle out into the world. And this is a great visual that I'll have for a long time about how God can use one person to affect many people in generations going forward. And this is a testament to you, Larry, too. Thank you very much. We had the privilege of knowing Kirk in the 1.0 version of Pastor Kirk. The raw guy out of Fuller, who was young and trying to ask a lot of questions, answer a lot of questions, and learn as he went along. And we got to experience that and live that with him, and I'll always be blessed by that. But today is a really neat time, because today I was able to go to his church. He has his own flock. And the 2.0 version, or the 3.0 version of Kirk, I think this is now, God's perfectly prepared him. I use this phrase all the time. God's perfectly prepared you, man, before you're out. So, today I want to ask Larry to come up here and bless Kirk, bless the church, bless his season, like only he can, to let God do the things that he needs to do to impact the rest of the Conejo Valley, just like your vision was 50 years ago. So please come up, Larry.
Just like church, everybody's sitting in the back pew, you know. I'd like to ask all you people who are near the door to just come and let's form a circle of love around these two. Luke and Josh, you need to be right here. This is your grandfather speaking. Okay. No flack. And Bella. Will you guys all just come down between the tables here? Let it go. Okay. Where's Bella? Okay, we got the Bella. Okay. I want to say a couple of things, then have you all participate in the blessing. Some of you maybe came today thinking you were coming down to Kirk, but you came to have God speak to you about getting your priorities right. Your priorities are really about your loyalty to your master and your loyalty to your mate. Amen? Anybody want to say amen? Say amen to your mate. Let this, just squeeze their hands so they know it, unless you're 30 feet apart. The other thing I want to say is that one day when you were meeting at Living Proof, some of you may know this, in our upstairs room, the chief of police for Thousand Oaks came to our front door. And we happen to know him, and he said, we got a call and a complaint that there's a big party going on the street. And I said, well, it's probably upstairs, have at it. And he walked upstairs. Anybody there when that happened? Walked into the room and said, okay, what's going on here? And scared that whatever out of everybody in the room. They all ran to the toilet. Okay, all right. But today, I think about Kirk and Stace is carrying the baton that's already been mentioned. Our time of running the race is in the last phase. Kirk said to me one day not very long ago, I feel like, Dad, you had a vision for reaching tens of thousands of people in this valley. It ain't done yet. But I'm going to say, I hope see it finished. So reach out right now to them, will you please? And a couple of you guys who can even reach across the table. And all of us reach out to Josh and Luke. And with your eyes wide open, look at them. Thank God for the impact on your lives. You're all very fruitful. That's evident by the next table over there with all these children. Thank you, Lord, the fruit of our lives. And we pray, Lord, that the generational blessing of what you said in Philippians 1, he who began a good work in you will perform it until, what? Completion. Until the day Jesus Christ comes back. So imagine in your mind and heart right now what God's going to do with the next generation of leadership with Kirk and Stacy in this town. Imagine what's going to do, God's going to do through your children and the next generation of leaders here and elsewhere. And just pray and believe that God's going to continue to multiply what's being done. Say amen. Now your word to Kirk and Stacy. Just reach out and from your heart say this as from your heart. Everyone, here's the phrase. May God, you, whatever you want to say, may God, one after another, may God bless you. Somebody else, may God protect you. May God, go ahead. Watch over you, give you peace. What else? Yell them out. Now reach out your hand and pray, Lord, thank you for your calling on their lives. Thank you for all the years of preparation for this season. Lord, may they see and believe this is going to be the greatest season beyond even what they've dreamed and imagined. Thank you for the vision and passion and love for Jesus and openness to your spirit that you put in their lives. Thank you for the grounding in your word and the capacity to share your truth so practically, so wonderfully, so freshly. And Lord, may their efforts and may your work in this church go beyond anything anyone in the circle has imagined. And I pray that you'll help them to lift up Jesus every week. Jesus, you be the VIP. And as you're lifted up, Lord, draw all kinds of unimaginable people to you to discover new life, new hope. Protect their marriage, protect their boys and daughter, help them to grow up to serve and love Christ, protect their family in all kinds of ways, every way, health, the rest of it. And Lord, help them to be able, faithful, steady servants who see you multiply the seed that's planted. For the sake of Christ and his kingdom. And everybody said, amen. Turn to your neighbor and say this, please, loudly. Live ready. Live ready. This could be the day. Give him the hand.
Hey, you guys. There's a stuck on a high heel. Scrap the agenda. It means so much that you guys are here. I mean, Stacy and I, you already knew. I'm totally blown away. I had no clue at all. But I did want to say it really isn't about us. It's about what the Lord has done in all of us. And I feel like we learned as much from you as you did from us. And as I look around at your faces, I mean, I learned a lot from each of you about joy and patience and friendship and love and serving others and prayer and just, there's like a word that I could associate each of you guys with. And so I'm so thankful to Lord for you. So thank you for raising us to serve Him. And it's interesting just looking around and thinking about where all of you guys came from and now where God is pointing you to. So I just want to say thanks from the bottom of our hearts, and we're going to continue praying for you and what God wants to do in and through each of you. Because it's not about us, it's about what God wants to do. Right? Right on. What else? Oh, when I saw Denny and Liz hug earlier, I had this weird deja vu. Like, my brain has played so many tricks on me today. It's really fun. Like, every time I see one of you, I think of 3 or 4 stories, and usually they're not good. It's really kind of embarrassing. Anyway, we don't need to go down that road. But thanks for being here. It means a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. Love you guys.
Are you going to do housekeeping stuff? Housekeeping stuff? Well, make sure. Where's Todd? Todd, you going to do housekeeping?
Hey, first of all, before Todd takes the mic, I want to thank Todd and Heather for doing almost all of the work to put this together. Everything. So here.
I want to thank Stacy for keeping a good secret. So remember, sign the book. You guys each get a picture to go with you. The videos and pictures taken today are going to be uploaded so you can all do whatever you want with them. And these cards that are just like a favorite memory or something that Kirk and Stacy can read later. We're going to embarrass a bunch of you for signing on too. And then their picture over there that you can sign on. And lastly, just make sure you